Hey everyone, welcome to Sam's Sports Corner, episode 32. I'm sorry, there's a lot that's gone on in sports this week, like minor things here and there that I'd really like to talk about, but we don't quite have enough time. So I'm going to talk a little bit about hockey, I'm going to talk about boxing, I'm going to talk about the draft, and then I'm going to give you a quick bet of the week. So here we go. NHL hockey, we're in the second round of the playoffs, and the Penguins are playing the Capitals. In last night's game, Crosby lost his footing while he was trying to go for the puck. Ovechkin had slashed him. That didn't get called. He is kind of coming down as Capitals player Niskanen is coming across, and it seems like he grabs his stick and pushes it out, almost as to block himself. When you look at it in crazy super slow-mo, like 2 frames a second, it looks like he was going for his head. If you look at it in full time, it really doesn't look like that. He cross-checks Crosby in the back of the head because he's going down. Really what would normally be like an elbow mid-bicep shot ends up as a head shot. He gets a major penalty, 5 minutes, automatic game misconduct, gets ejected from the game. It turns out Crosby's got a concussion and won't play in next game. The problem I have with all that is cut and dry, that makes sense to me. What I have a problem with is people calling for Niskanen to be suspended for additional games. First off, because Crosby is now out. And I'm sorry, but the result of a play cannot determine what a player's penalty is. It has to be the intent. Do by any standards, anybody who knows their ass from a hole in the ground as far as hockey goes, consider his intent to be like a bad intent to hurt Crosby? No. They're friends. They used to be on the same team. He's a good guy. He's never been in any trouble like this before. It doesn't make any sense. So, no. Crosby's injury cannot determine him getting extra suspension. The second thing I have a problem with that people are saying are that he should be suspended because he hurt a star. That because of who Crosby is, he should get extra suspension time. Even like ESPN analysts, which we've all agreed vis-a-vis last week, ESPN is garbage. But they're saying just because Crosby's a star, he should get... It's ridiculous. Any penalty with the intent of the same magnitude should be treated the same. It doesn't matter if Patrick Kane gets injured or some fourth-line a-hole who just got called up from, Rockford gets penalized, a penalty done against them. The penalty, it should all be even across the board. It doesn't matter if you're a superstar or not. That is just opening up a can of worms. That is completely ridiculous. So we're going to move on past that. I'm glad Niskanen didn't get any extra penalization because it seemed like it was an accident and he had already lost the game too. Next, boxing. Anthony Joshua versus Vladimir Klitschko in the heavyweight title fight. Awesome fight. Real heavyweight bout. They were throwing some damn bricks around. It was awesome. Pretty even. Klitschko took a lead. Joshua took a lead. There was one point, I think it was in the 9th round, Anthony Joshua uppercuts Vladimir Klitschko so hard. It was like a rock'em sock'em robot. His head extended 3 feet above his shoulders. His face went into orbit, and I don't think it's come down yet. It's going to be like the Challenger space shuttle. You're going to need some kind of re-entry program for his face to come back to his body because that hit was egregiously hard. But he stayed fighting. Late in the 11th round, Anthony Joshua ends up TKOing Vladimir Klitschko in probably one of the best boxing matches I've seen in a long time, especially a heavyweight fight. Go ahead, look up the highlights or the full thing if you can get it. Beautiful, beautiful fight. Next thing we're going to touch on is the Bears and their, we'll call it abysmal ability to draft. Let's got it written down. I'm gonna have to take a drink because of this. First round, we trade up from 3rd pick to 2nd pick to we traded away our 3rd and 4th round pick of this year and our 4th round pick of next year to move up 1 pick to pick Mitch Trubisky from UNC. If you think he's the guy of the future, yeah, it's a good choice. I don't think so. We gave up a lot for it. It wasn't even necessary. The 49ers thought we were moving up to take Solomon Thomas. Yeah, everyone's like, there were other teams going for a quarterback. That's classic misdirection. It's total BS, and I'm over it. 2nd round, tight end Shaheen out of Ashland College, a D2 school. So I'm going to skip that because that's total horseshit. Next, the only good pick, in my opinion, of our draft was safety Eddie Jackson out of Alabama. I honestly think this dude's going to be the next Ed Reed. He's going to be a Pro Bowler every year, future Hall of Famer. I think we stole him in the 3rd round, so that's a great pickup. Next, out of North Carolina A&T, we take running back Tariq Cohen. Not much more has to be said about that pick. And with our last pick of the draft, because we only had 5 of them because we traded away the other 2, we took offensive lineman Jordan Morgan out of Kutztown College. Kutztown College. Ryan Pace put his entire career in this draft. If these kids are not the absolute truth, he is screwed, especially Mitch Trubisky, and I'm glad of it. Total garbage. He got outplayed by a rookie GM. It's in John Lynch for the 49ers. I can't believe that happened. Next, I'm going to the Kentucky Derby this weekend. It's going to be a great time. Very excited. It's like one of those sports things you have to do. You have to go to like Talladega. You got to go to Kentucky Derby. You have to go to the Masters. You have to go to, all that stuff. I'm going to give you my bets on the week. I personally am going to put all my money on the horse Battle of Midway, because that's such a boss name. Odds are 28-1. The other 2 I considered due to their names, because I'm only betting based on their names. I don't know shit about horse racing. Next is Thunder Snow at a clear 16-1 odds. And then the best odds that I picked were Irish War Cry, because that's pretty boss. Their odds are 13-2. So I hope you enjoyed that. Hopefully you win some money off of my bets. I can't wait to see you next week.